Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm Eva Medilek, and I want to talk to you today about focus and how important your level of focus is to your performance, your productivity, your effectiveness, your results, your energy, your health, your stress levels, your overwhelm, all of the things come down to one word: focus. So if you have trouble focusing on one thing at a time and you have what I call shiny object syndrome, then this is for you. I believe I talked about in a previous in a previous recording, a previous live, that the brain can multitask, but the brain cannot focus on more than one thing at a time. So, how do you increase your level of focus, especially when everything seems important, when there's so much you want to do, when there's so little time to do it all? One of my favorite quotes that I like to share when I am speaking on stages is a Calvin and Hobbes bumper sticker that I once saw, and it said, God put me on earth to accomplish a certain number of things, and right now I am so far behind that I will never die. And it's resonates so well with me in so many areas of my life. It seems like I never, you know, sometimes I want to do so much. There's so much that I want to accomplish and so little time left. I mean, hey, I'm already in my 60s. So there's more time behind me than there is in front of me, if you will. So, what do you need to do to focus so that you can actually get somewhere, move the needle forward on your priorities and your goals? So, I like to share my CPR formula, if you will. And it is kind of the jump start mechanism, if you will, to becoming a high performer and to really increasing your performance levels. So, CPR stands for clarity, priority, and responsibilities. So, let me just walk you through what that means. A lot of times I talk to clients who are all over the place when I ask them, what is the one thing you want to do? What is the one thing you want to accomplish in the next 3 to 6 months? I get, Eva, I want to do da 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 da. And I also want to do this. 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 So if this sounds like you, let me know in the comments, if you will. Here's the thing with that. Most of us look at Mount Everest and it becomes overwhelming to climb. But it's really important to chunk it down, if you will, into bite sized increments. And that means having clarity on what the one big goal is. What is the top of the mountain for you? What is the one thing that you want to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months? Because, and yes, you can do 9 months, you can do a year, but let's just focus on what is one thing that you need to do to move the needle forward in your life, in your health, in your business, in your energy in the next 3 to 6 months. And once you're clear on what that is, you get to prioritize your day, your weeks, your months. What is the one thing that you want to focus on? Today is Wednesday. What is the one thing that you need to focus on to get traction toward that goal, to get traction toward that 3 month goal, that 6 month goal, that 9 month goal, whatever it is for you? And I really like to chunk it down into three. What are three action items that you can do today to move the needle forward towards those goals? And then you want to prioritize. Once you have your action items, life happens, life will always keep happening. And sometimes, because of life happening, some of our time is stolen away from us. And so, what you want to do is you want to prioritize the one thing. What is the one thing that you can do, that the one big thing that you can get done by the end of today that would move the needle forward towards that goal, towards your health goals, towards your business goals, towards your sales goals, towards, whatever goal you have, your relationship goals. If you're looking for the one, most of the time the one doesn't come knocking on your door and end up in your lap if you're working from home. Okay. So what is one thing that you need to do for these goals that you have in your life? If you want better relationships, what is one thing you can do to, to be more connected to your spouse or your partner in life? And so you want to be clear on what the goal is, and then you want to prioritize steps towards the goals. And here's one thing I want to share with you about prioritizing. You've got to prioritize your stuff, your things, your action steps, if you will, before you give your time and your energy and your effort away to other people's goals, other people's false emergencies, other people's priorities. And what that looks like is, and I'll give you one huge tip, that first hour of your day needs to be spent on your needle moving, your needle moving activities, what moves the needle forward for your activities. So for example, say you have a day job and you start in the office, you've got a 9 to 5. Well, from 8 to 9, you need to be working on your needle moving activities of the day. Or depending upon how your work situation is set up, 9 to 10, before you jump into the inbox and before you start responding and reacting to everybody else. And so that brings me, if you will, to the R in the CPR. You've got to own the responsibility for creating and setting boundaries. So you have the responsibility for those boundaries. So for example, if you're working on your priorities, whether it's your job priorities or your personal priorities, the first work hour of the day. So I guess it would be job priorities if it's a work hour. If it's your personal, the hour before you start work, okay? You want to set that boundary that you're not answering a text or a phone call or jumping into your inbox until you create what you need to create for your priorities. Okay. That's called creation before consumption, because when we jump into our inbox, when we jump into social media, we are consuming and reacting, consuming and reacting, consuming and reacting. That is incredibly energy draining. So what you want to do is have that responsibility for boundaries around your creation time. Who do you need to reach out to make sure that this goal or this task gets accomplished today? Who are you waiting to hear from? Who did you email yesterday that hadn't gotten back to you yet? What follow-ups do you need to do for that important project, for your goals, for your vision, whatever that is? And don't let anybody steal your time and your energy away from the time that you have put aside for your stuff. And so that feels selfish. It feels like you're not being available to everyone. But look at it this way. Think of the level of accomplishment you would feel when you stop putting off your priorities in lieu of someone else's. When you reach that goal that you said you wanted to reach in 3 or 6 months, 30, 60, 90 days, whatever that looks like for you. Because when you are always giving your energy, your time to someone else's priorities, it really leaves you broke with time and energy for your own priorities. So it's important to put yourself first. And it feels like being selfish, and I guess it kind of is, but you've created a space for you. And when you can have that accomplishment for yourself, it makes you a better leader, a better role model, a happier, healthier, more fulfilled and accomplished person, where you can show up as your best self on your A game in every area of your life. So that's the CPR: clarity, priorities, and the responsibility for setting and creating boundaries. And let me add to that setting and creating boundaries responsibility to communicating those boundaries. People are not going to read your mind. People are not going to automatically know that the first hour of your day is reserved for your priorities. So you may have to tell somebody somewhere that, you know what, I'm not going to be in my inbox until 9 a.m., 10 a.m., whatever that is for you, 8 a.m., and have that as an away message. I will start checking emails at this time in the morning. Tell that to whoever might knock on your door. The first hour is reserved for me. After that, bring it. And you're going to find that people are going to honor, respect, and help you protect those boundaries. Because if they catch you doing something outside of what you said you're going to do, somebody's going to say, hey, I thought the first hour was for you. Get back to doing what you need to do for you, boo. And then you're going to have that extra accountability. Anyway, hope that helped. Hope that gave you some nuggets on how you can be more effective and productive and attain your goals. We've got the end of the year coming up with 2 more months, 6 more weeks, literally, to 2023. Oh my God, can you believe it? So how can you start creating habits that will set you up to close the year out strong and start the new year, 2024, strong? All right. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is evamedilek.com/YouTube, because I will be sharing even more coaching for you via video in the YouTube channel. And I'm excited to have as many subscribers as I can have so that we can get the message of high performance. We can get the message out of creating inclusive environments. We can help the world and ourselves, starting with ourselves, be better, know better, do better, and help the world be a better place. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.